We had to be careful. The police station was just across the street. The last thing we needed was to get caught sneaking around on a night like this. I glanced at my friends, excitement mingling with curiosity as Dwight and Jacob began taking the back door off its hinges. I knew kicking down the door would have been awesome, like in the movies, but we had to remember, getting caught was not an option. As soon as the door creaked open, the guys carefully pushed it aside and we stepped into the darkness of the house with our flashlights.
So, where did you hear about this creepy mirror game?
Good old Google. I can't believe I let you guys talk me into this.
Oh, come on, Anne, stop being such a baby.
Just then, a rustling noise sent us all into a panic, freezing us in pure terror. We all turned our flashlights towards the sound. It was just a harmless iguana. Oh, great. Now I'm even more freaked out. Why did I agree to do this again? Because it's Halloween and it'll be fun. Let's enjoy. Exams were finally over and we had just stepped into the freedom of university life. No more curfews. What better way to celebrate than with my friends on this eerie night? For 5 long years, I had passed that old plantation house on Wendy Fitzwilliams Boulevard, always wondering what secrets lay behind its crumbling walls. While there were many different rumors about what happened in the plantation house, one thing was clear. Inside, there were jumbies. Hey there, I'm Mariah from the beautiful twin island of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, for those who don't know, a jumbie, it's an evil spirit from our folklore. But you didn't really come here for that, right? You came for my confession. So hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up because what I'm about to share is gonna be a doozy. Okay, so back to the story. We had to be careful. The police station was just across the street. The last thing we needed was to get caught sneaking around on a night like this. I glanced at my friends, excitement mingling with curiosity as Dwight and Jacob began taking the back door off its hinges. I knew kicking down the door would have been awesome, like in the movies, but we had to remember, getting caught was not an option. As soon as the door creaked open, the guys carefully pushed it aside and we stepped into the darkness of the house with our flashlights.
So, where did you hear about this creepy mirror game?
Good old Google. It's one thing to hear about jumbies. It's another to actually go looking for them. At least I came prepared.
What's that?
It's holy water. You guys didn't think I'd come here without any protection, do you? I'm not that crazy.
Okay, should we do this thing upstairs or downstairs?
Please, downstairs. I don't plan on getting any creepy crawlers in my hair. As we explored downstairs, I spotted something under a dusty sheet in the corner. Hey guys, come check this out. One by one, they gathered around as I pulled off the sheet. It was a large antique mirror. Wow, look, I found the perfect mirror for the game.
So we start at midnight?
Yes. So what do we do for the next few hours? Share spooky stories? We sat in a circle and lost ourselves in the stories until my alarm went off at 11:55. We all looked at each other. I swore everyone in the room could hear my heart beating. It seemed so loud in my ears. Nervously, I grabbed the pieces of paper I'd prepared and handed one to each person. At midnight, look into the mirror and say what's on the paper. Got it?
Are you guys sure you want to do this? Calling a jumbie could have serious consequences. Or are you chickening out? Don't worry, Anne has enough holy water for all of us.
1 minute to go. We stood up and gathered around the mirror, my heart beating loudly as the seconds ticked away. Suddenly, my alarm rang loudly, signaling it was time. We all looked into the mirror.
Jumbie of the night, I summon thee. Reveal your presence, let me see.
We waited for the next few minutes and it felt like hours, but nothing happened. Jacob broke the tension with a smirk.
I guess all the rumors we heard over the years were false.
What is that? The sound was faint, almost like a whisper. The air turned cold and shadows stretched unnaturally across the walls, flickering like they had a life of their own. Then a low, eerie voice echoed through the room, barely above a whisper but cold enough to freeze the blood in our veins. Did you hear that? My voice barely made it out. Suddenly, the room exploded into chaos. The chandelier above us swung wildly, its glass bulbs bursting one by one. The whispers that had been faint before now grew louder. The voices spoke in a language none of us knew. The floor beneath us groaned, then cracked open. Thick black sludge oozed up through the gaps in the wood, creeping across the floor like something alive. And its stench, like spoiled meat, hit us hard, making it hard to breathe. And then we saw them, dark handprints pushing out from the wallpapers. Fingers stretching and clawing as if they were trying to tear their way through. My heart raced as we huddled together, frozen in fear. It felt like the air around us had turned heavy, holding us in place. The air turned icy, then came the sound. Footsteps approaching, slow, deliberate.
We need to leave, now!
Jacob's voice snapped us back to reality and we all bolted for the door. But when we grabbed the handle, it wouldn't budge. The door was locked. No, more than locked. It felt like it was sealed. Help! Someone help us! I'm way too young to die! I'm too young to die! And then the growl, low, rumbling, and inhuman, seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once.
You have called the Jumbie, and it's hungry.
Oh my god! What have I done? What did I get us into?
Upstairs now!
We raced up the stairs behind Dwight, taking the steps 2 at a time. The wooden steps groaned like they were about to collapse under our weight. Once in the hallway, we threw ourselves at every door. Desperate, but each one refused to open. Locked, jammed, we were trapped.
Come on, open, you stupid thing!
We finally reached the last door. Jacob and Dwight kicked it with all their might, the lock snapping. We stumbled into the room, slamming the door behind us.
Quick, block the door! But if it's a ghost, how is blocking the door supposed to help?
Do you have a better idea? Anne was already shoving a broken bookshelf against the door.
No, then move it!
At that moment, our survival mode kicked in. We shoved everything we could find. Old, decaying furniture, dusty shelves, even a tattered armchair against the door. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely lift anything, but I wasn't about to stop. Not now. Not with that thing out there. Once the door was blocked, I looked at my friends, who seemed as terrified as me. What now? I felt like a mouse in a trap. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. But apparently there was one more option. Hide! Quick! Under the bed! I know what you're thinking, and yeah, you're probably right, but honestly, we weren't thinking straight at the time, so don't judge us. We crawled under the ancient, splintered bed, the moth-eaten sheets brushing our faces. Our bodies pressed together, hearts pounding in unison. The room was deathly silent, except for our ragged breathing. And then, scratching. Sharp, deliberate scratches against the door like nails dragging slowly across the wood. The sound sent chills racing down my spine. We didn't dare breathe, didn't dare move. Just as suddenly as it started, the scratching stopped. Guys, we can't stay here. We have to get out.
So you rather us face the Jumbie? Why did I come to this house? I should have just stuck to my carnival, not this Halloween bull.
I blame you, Mariah! Really? Do you think now is the best time for this conversation? Was Anne for real?
Guys, look, there's a window. Looks big enough for us to get through.
We all looked in the direction Dwight was pointing, and he was right. Yes, freedom! We scrambled out from under the bed, adrenaline driving us forward. Jacob reached the window first, trying to push it open, but it wouldn't budge. It was stuck, just like the doors. He looked around the room frantically and grabbed a piece of rusted steel from the corner.
Move!
We stepped back as he swung at the window with a loud clang. Then, bang! Something slammed into the door from the other side. Our makeshift barricade rattled violently as the banging grew louder and more frantic. The door shaking under the force of whatever was out there. We were too close to get caught. Jacob, hurry! Jacob finally smashed the glass window.
Go, go, go!
Just as we were about to climb through, the temperature in the room went down. My breath turned to mist, freezing in midair. And then I saw it, a shadow. It slid through the cracks in the door like smoke until it blocked our path. Now we were trapped. It twisted and began forming, its eyes glowing with a red, ghostly light. My legs felt like lead. I couldn't breathe. None of us could. The Jumbie appeared as a tall, shadowy figure, draped in tattered, dark clothing. His worn boots barely made a sound as he moved. A weathered hat sat low on his brow, casting an evil shadow across his face, while a long, tattered cloak hung from his shoulders. With a swift motion, Anne raised the holy water. Be gone, foul spirit! We watched as she sprayed the Jumbie with the sacred liquid. Then the Jumbie erupted into laughter, a sound that echoed like a chilling wind through the trees.
Your faith is amusing, child, but holy water won't save you.
Before Anne could react, the Jumbie lunged forward, a blur of shadow, and shoved her to the ground. She landed hard on the wooden floor.
Anne!
Dwight ran to help her to her feet. The Jumbie's eyes met mine, and its twisted mouth stretched into a sick grin. My heart pounded so hard I thought it would burst. Then a voice that was both a whisper and a growl. It spoke.
Mariah, I see you brought your friends as promised.
Everything froze. My friends turned to me. Shock and confusion plastered across their faces. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat louder than the last. I could feel their eyes on me, their silent questions louder than the Jumbie's voice.
Mariah, what is he talking about?
They don't understand, I thought, swallowing hard. They don't know what it's like to see your family struggling, to watch your parents work themselves into the ground just to barely scrape by. So you've been here before? I forced myself to look at them, guilt twisting in my gut. As I opened my mouth, the words felt hollow. Yes, I was here about 2 weeks ago and recited the ritual, and he appeared.
Ha ha ha. Mariah here promised me your souls in exchange for wealth.
So all of this, that stupid game, was just to lure us here for your own selfish needs?
The accusation hit me hard. I blinked back, the tears threatening to spill. I couldn't break down now, not in front of them. I had to be strong. Selfish? My voice cracked, but the anger took over, fueled by years of desperation. My parents are working 2 and 3 jobs, and we're still living paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired. I can't stay in the ghetto. Can't live like that anymore. I did what I had to.
But why us?
I turned to Jacob, my eyes burning with anger. The words flew out of my mouth before I could stop them, filled with both anger and pain. Why not you? Huh. Don't your parents have a buck? That evil spirit that harms others to bring wealth to its master? You're no different than I am. Jacob's face paled then, but I didn't care. And he really wasn't sure, because a buck is an evil spirit bound to its master through dark rituals. It does whatever its master wants, bringing them wealth by hurting others. The buck is trapped and can't refuse to whoever controls it. While a jumbie is wild and unpredictable, but the buck is completely tied to its master's will. I got bullied for being poor all my life, and then here I decide to pretend to be rich and be in your group. I was tired of pretending, so I thought I had a right to live a rich life like you guys do. For months, I searched and found ways to get rich quick. My granny always talked about the spirits and how you could control them to use them, but there was always a price. So I did my homework, learned the ways of the spirits and how to summon them. How dare they judge me? They had no idea what I'd been through. But even as I lashed out, a part of me hated myself. Anne grabbed my arm, yanking me toward her. Her eyes blazed with fury. Doesn't our friendship mean anything to you? Even though I heard the hurt in Anne's voice, I doubled over with wild and uncontrollable laughter. Our friendship? Your friendship always came with strings attached, like doing your homework or carrying your books. You never cared how you made me feel, so why should I care about you now?
You betrayed your friends for a promise of wealth. Well, why would you think I wouldn't betray you in return? Ha 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 ha. None of you are leaving this house tonight.
A loud rumbling echoed through the room as the shadows moved. Dark figures, more jumbies began to materialize from the corners. Their twisted faces watching us, waiting. Fear clawed at my throat. Everyone was screaming now, panicking, pushing at each other. I barely had time to think before Dwight ripped the block away from the door and it swung open. We bolted for the door, stumbling over each other, the floorboards creaking and groaning under our feet. As we ran through the hallway and down the steps, the jumbies were behind us, moving faster than I thought possible. Their twisted hands reached out, brushing against our backs, sending shivers down my spine. The door flung open and we spilled into the night air, but the darkness wasn't our salvation. It was a trap. One by one, the screams started. First, it was Anne. Her scream pierced the night air like a knife. Then it was Dwight. I turned just in time to see him fall, dragged into the shadows by hands that weren't human. Then Jacob. Black hands covered his mouth and dragged him away. The last thing I saw was his eyes wild with terror. They left silence, cold, empty silence. And then it was just me. The jumbie appeared again, its eyes gleaming with delight.
I always get what I want.
Tears stung my eyes. I was supposed to be free. Me and my family enjoying the wealth. Not here. Not with him. Please don't. I did what you asked.
Yes, but you forget. A deal with me always comes at a price. And your price was higher than you thought. Your family will receive the wealth you longed for. You just won't be there to enjoy it.
There has to be a way out of this, please. I beg you. I stepped closer, its foul breath brushing my face, sending waves of nausea through me.
Let's make a deal. I won't kill you. Not yet. You're free to live.
I swallowed, my entire body shaking. What's the deal?
You will tell your story to everyone, and every person who hears it will be marked and visited.
No, I can't do that, please. Don't make me.
You have no choice, Chile.
It reached out, brushing its cold, clawed hand against my cheek. I flinched, but didn't pull away.
If you don't, I will come for you, and I will take everything. Your soul, your family, your future. You will have nothing left.
My heart raced, pounding against my ribcage like a trapped bird. Slowly, I pushed myself to my feet. The guilt I felt for what I did was overwhelming. I had to fix it. I just had to. This wasn't who I was, and I didn't want greed to turn me into the monster I felt like. I had to fix it. I had to. I'd like to see my friends one more time. The Jumpy's eyes gleamed with dark amusement as it nodded. Suddenly, my friends stepped out from the shadows. Their faces were pale, but relief washed over them as they rushed toward me. I wrapped my arms around them tightly. I'm sorry for what I did, guys. Please forgive me. Then, with a surge of adrenaline, I grabbed a bag of rice from my backpack and tossed it into the air. Guys, run! We bolted for the door, our hearts pounding like thunder. You see, I knew Jumbies were tricksters, so I had to be ready for the worst. Jumbies might be terrifying, but they were easily distracted. I read that rice could buy us precious seconds. They had to count every grain before they could follow. My friends and I escaped that day, but they never spoke to me again. I can't blame them. My greed cost me more than I realized. They weren't perfect, and I had bad-mouthed them, but when it mattered, they were always there. Now the memory of their hurt faces haunts me. I traded their trust for a taste of wealth, only to end up with loneliness. I learned the hard way that betrayal is paid in love. I wish I could take back those words and the deal that led me here, but the shadows remain a constant reminder of what I lost. And now I sit here with my camera, pouring my heart out, but this creepy feeling lingers like a shadow. I can't shake the sense that something is watching me. I haven't dared to go out at night, and I can't sleep with the lights off anymore. I did survive the Jumbie, for now. But as Granny used to say, betray a Jumbie, and it will haunt you till your last breath.